just wanted to talk a bit today about using polls on LinkedIn. So if you follow me, you know that one of the main things that we do is we help businesses get leads from LinkedIn using various different techniques, but not from things like sending endless DMs to connections, or having business pages, or using groups and that kind of stuff. And what I want to do today, though, is talk a little bit about polls, because having a LinkedIn presence is great. Having a headline and profile that talks to your ideal clients is great. Asking to connect with new people every day, engaging with the audience that you have on LinkedIn each day is really important as well, and putting out great content. So I talk about 4 pillars of content, which are stories, video, social proof, and call to action posts. So stories about who you are and what you do, video, you talking like this so people can see you, social proof, so evidence that you are who you say you are and you can do what you say you can do, and finally call to action, short, sharp posts that say this is who we are, this is what we're doing, this is how you can buy from us. They're the kind of key things that I talk about. Now, this is the 5th pillar of content. This is in addition. Now, polls on LinkedIn, I'm just going to talk about how I use polls on LinkedIn. There's plenty of different ways to do it, but I wanted to talk about how I've been using polls recently. And like everything that I teach, I test it myself. I see what works, what doesn't. And this is the result of my very non-scientific experiment. So the thing that I found is that I use 3 types of polls. So the first type is what I would call like a fun poll. So it's a poll that asks a question that's kind of engaging, but is relevant in that it's something that you're interested in. So example for me is I do a lot of polls at the weekends around football, because my weekends are spent watching football. So I'm a United fan, my fiance is a Liverpool fan, one of my eldest daughter is a Everton fan, my other daughter's Liverpool, my other daughter's United, and then my stepson is Liverpool. So every weekend in the season, we are watching one game or another, basically. For example, big weekend this weekend, Liverpool in the FA Cup final. All of the tutors will be coming to watch the football, and it's kind of a big part of my life. So I do polls around football. Now, yes, people want to comment on them because it's a big thing in the UK particularly, but it's also relevant. So I don't ask things like, do you like pineapple on pizza? Because although I'm kind of into pizza, it's not kind of one of my things. So whatever you're interested in, whatever's the thing that sort of happens in your home, your family, what you might have a kind of an interest in hobby or something, ask questions around that, and that will get engagement, because people do love to get involved, right? And a lot of mine are a bit tongue-in-cheek. I think one of my first ones when I started testing this was, who's going to win the league? Can Liverpool win the league? Yes, no. This isn't Facebook, because obviously that's what people say. And I teach LinkedIn, and a lot of people use that as a reason to be worried about LinkedIn, because people say that there have to be a certain way on LinkedIn, and you can't put fun and engaging stuff on there because it's professional and all that, which I don't believe in. So the second type of post that I've been trialing and I've kind of fell into using is what I would call a research poll. So that is a genuine research poll of something that I'm interested in knowing. So an example for this one would be I did, if I was going to do, we're doing niche trading on LinkedIn. So we've just done one for property. What should our next niche be? And I think I gave numerous options. I think it was like fit pros, VAs, coaches, a couple of things. I've got a list somewhere. So I wrote my list. I have a list. So I put that list onto LinkedIn, and I was genuinely interested to see what the answers were. But the really magical thing about polls is you can see who's voted and how. And that's what I find really, really exciting from a lead gen point of view. So, for example, on that one, we got lots of people saying for coaches, and that's what we did. We went and created a niche kind of funnel where we've got a scorecard and we've got a webinar for coaches who want to use LinkedIn to get that next high ticket client. Now, I feel that person, because people have engaged on that poll, I feel like it's fine for me to send them a message to say, thanks for voting. We've created a scorecard for coaches, and as a thank you, you'll be, we're going to be doing a free training, a free webinar. they've engaged on my post and put their hand up about something really specific. So for me to send them a message saying, thanks for voting, here's the next step, is ticks a box for me. That's not cold DMing. And then the third type of poll that I'm using is a straight out, down and dirty lead generation poll. And I'm going to show you an example now. So if I can get my computer to do what I need it to do. It's, for me, it's very clearly obvious that this post here, this is my post that I did a day ago. So that is designed for me to get interested people that I can then contact. So if I was going to invest £500 to £1,500 into learning how to generate leads for LinkedIn for myself, I would prefer. And these are all the things that we actually offer. So self-study, community program, one-to-one coaching, done for me. So we have a self-study version of the LinkedIn Masterminds. It's £500, which is why the thing started here at 500. We have a community program, which is the LinkedIn Mastermind. For some reason, I've managed to vote on my own poll, but ignore that. Community program here would be the LinkedIn Mastermind. We have that, it's £1,500, so that's where the top end of that. One-to-one coaching with me, which starts at £1,000, so that's within that budget. Or done for me, so I write LinkedIn profiles for £500. So you can see hopefully here that this is a very clear question designed to generate leads for me. So we've had 98 votes, and this is the magic, is that when you go here, you can see how many votes you've had on each, and you can see who and how they've voted. So here I can see these are people I'm connected with because I can send them a message. This is somebody who isn't, so I would go and ask her to connect. And then all of these people who've connected who aren't clients, I can message and say, hi, I don't know why I've managed to vote on my own poll, but anyway, hi, thank you so much for voting on my poll. Did you know we have a, self-study version of the LinkedIn Mastermind? That's for me, that's a clear, obvious next step. Community program. So some of these people are in the mastermind, but connect with the people who I'm not connected to, and message these people just saying that we've got a 5-day challenge coming up, we've got a community program coming up. So you can go through all of these. One-to-one coaching. 43 people said they'd be interested in one-to-one coaching, or they would prefer one-to-one coaching, I should say. So I can message these people and just say, did you know I do work one-to-one with clients? More than happy for them to say not interested. But I've got all of these people here. And then done for me, people who want something hands off, I could message them all about, in fact, Dish is one of my clients. I've already written her LinkedIn profile for her, but I could, to say that I could write their profiles for them, which is kind of a sort of part-time gig that I do at the moment. So there you go. For me, that's a real quality kind of data collection exercise of people. And then the other thing I want to show you while I'm here is that this this might be available for everybody, but it might not. But for me, this was really interesting. This bit here, and I didn't find this, someone told me about it, to be honest. So this bit here is a section where if you go to this edit button here, pencil, and you scroll right down to the bottom, you can add a website. So I think this used to be on the right-hand side, but now it goes underneath your headline and your location. So you can put your link. So this is a link to our scorecard, and you can put a text here. So discover your score, LinkedIn score. So you can have this linked to your website, or you can have it linked to your lead magnet, or you could have it linked to a score app, or like for the authors I was doing some training with last night, you could link it to your book. Read my book here, and then you could have a link to buy the book. So it's quite interesting there that you can have that right up there. And then, as always, you'll see these. So these post impressions have all massively peaked when I've been doing polls, because people connecting with them and commenting on them and stuff. And my profile views are up, but not massively. But definitely the post impressions are up. So I'll come back to where I was on StreamYard. So hopefully that's useful for you when it comes to polls. So it's, for me, I'm never really that impressed with LinkedIn's like things that they bring out, but the polls for me, I was like, oh, this is really, really good. So I'm trying to do one most days when I remember, and it's been really interesting for me to do those three types of polls. So they were like the fun, silly polls for engagement, but kind of relevant to who you are. The research polls, really asking your audience what they want or need, or they would go next. And those lead gen, down and dirty, this is, lead gen posts asking people how they want to buy from you or what they would want to buy from you, and then sending them a message to give them that natural next step. So hopefully that was useful. Have an amazing day. Thanks, guys.